part two. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about Stephen Harrod Buhner's book, The Transformational Power of Fasting. And this is the reason that really got me hooked on water fasting. He has three parts to this book: physical, emotional, and spiritual. And I read the physical first. He talks about physical fasting and detox, and of course, there's a lot of science in this book, which I am attracted to. It's still written for a layperson. You don't have to have a scientific background to understand anything that he's saying. It's definitely written in a layperson's terms, but he does add the science in the scientific terms. And having a background in science, that's the kind of stuff I crave. So this book talks about preparing for the fast and during the fast and breaking the fast. And again, he is a proponent of a strict water fast, so only water. But he does, I if I recall, I've been reading this on and off for a month now. Have other cleansing diets in the book that aren't just strict water fasts. So that's really awesome. And so he talks about physical fasting and detox, which is what I was really, really interested in. But then he also goes into emotional fasting and detox and spiritual fasting and detox. So he brings a good background knowledge of fasting throughout time and throughout various religious practices and spiritual practices. And really, really, this book really, really resonated with me, and it's very inspiring and has so many tools. And I started reading the spiritual aspects again, and what really resonated with me, let me preface by saying I'm fasting because there's physical aspects that I'm looking for. I want to lose weight. I want to reset my body so that it's more sensitive to insulin and glucose, so that I don't what I eat doesn't go to fat so much, and also to reset my taste so that I have like sugar cravings and all that. So reset that aspect of my physiology so that I don't crave those foods so much. And that kind of flows into the emotional side. I'm also trying to recreate a relationship with my body and with food, so that I'm not fighting everything all the time, and so that I don't eat sugar for emotional reasons. I don't overeat, and wine and sugar, that's my thing, and it's purely an escape from whatever stress that I'm dealing with. And I've gotten into some really bad habits and patterns that have just set themselves in concrete, not only in my mind and my emotions, but also in my neural pathways, and also physically and mentally and emotionally. So I'm trying to undo some of that and heal the relationship that I've had all my life with my body, of not liking my body, not accepting my body. I'm never thin enough. Even when I was going between a size 2 and a size 4, and people were asking me if I was anorexic, I still needed to lose 5 more pounds. So there's some unhealthy thinking and old tapes, and a lot of that is from my upbringing. But I also have to take responsibility for the grooves that were in my mind that I've just continued to pave with negative thinking. So, and then as far as health, many of you know I spent the last few years in China working, and I was in a really toxic job environment, as well as just being in a toxic environment in China. The cities are very, very polluted. The air is poison, the water's poison, the food's poison. So you're just like, you can't win. So I went in there with, already had some leftover trauma, and went to China with that not fully healed, and so China just sort of crushed me on every level. So part of the spiritual aspect of this is this fast is to undo and heal a lot of damage that was done to my body and my psyche in China. And there was something that I wanted to read, and he's talking about how fasting can be difficult and it can be suffering. But he says, instead of continuing to avoid the deep need that our suffering indicates we have, we make the choice to turn and enter the darkness and intentionally engage it. Paradoxically, in such an act, we find new life, new direction, and joy. And what that made me think of was everything that I've been doing to avoid the pain and the stress that I've felt the past few years, the past 5 years really. It's all been about avoiding pain, avoiding my closed heart that was hurt so badly and that was hurt in other ways outside of relationship. And going and turning in toward the suffering and finally facing it and intentionally engaging it. I love the words he chose there. Very, very meaningful to me. So I think that's one of that's the big reasons. That's the big reason that this book, excuse me, really appealed to me, was because it's about facing your demons. Facing what's been causing you pain and going inward and becoming aware of all that and sitting with it and working through it and then finally releasing it, because that's what I want to do. I want to release some of the blockages that I have energetically, that I worked on with my TCM doctor. I want to release the emotional blockages I've had. And then, my spiritual journey is all about yoga and meditation and awareness. So I want to focus more on that. Anyway, so I'll end now. Like I said, I'm on day 3. I'm a little tired today. I am happy to say that I finally went into ketosis. I used a ketone stick this morning, and it showed I was in ketosis, which I haven't been in for the last month, despite doing a lot of different things. And so I'm really happy about that. I also, I've been rereading this book, and I felt a shift this morning. When I woke up, I felt a physical shift, a spiritual shift, and an emotional shift, and it felt good. So please send me lots of encouragement and inspirational comments. Feel free to leave your comments below the video. Please keep them positive, and because I want this to be a positive space for myself and for others. And thanks for watching my video. Hit like and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Everybody else can talk about that for 10 minutes. I'm not going to. Cheers. Ciao. Annyeonghaseyo. Jaijian. Bye-bye.